Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. Guys, Bitcoin is in a buy cycle right now. Now, this is probably not the cycle type information you thought I was going to talk about. You were probably thinking I was more going to talk about a technical analysis cycle or something like that. But guys, this cycle is one of the most important things you could understand when you have fundamentals in place to be successful in trading, not only in crypto, but stocks, real estate, it doesn't matter. You have to understand this psychological market cycle, which is what we're going to talk about. Now, before we get into it, please hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. And we're trying to grow this community, and we want you to be part of it. So subscribe, mash the notification bell, because that's really important that you get this information in a timely manner, because everything's moving really fast, and you need to get it as soon as you can. Now, at the end of the video, let me know what you think in the comments section. Now, let's take a look at this psychological market cycle. It basically talks about the herd mentality, guys. You know, when I used to trade foreign currencies, there was a big sign over the wall, over the door, that said, if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. And that was true then, and it's true today. So let's take a look at this chart. And basically, it just goes over, guys, people's mindset, the average person. Because look, depending on who you ask, somewhere between 85 and 92% of all traders, no matter what the market, lose money. Well, we don't want to be in the losing side. We want to be on the side of roughly the 10% that makes money. And the reason that 10% makes so much money is they think different than the herd, and they get the herd's money. Because when you sell, guys, every time you lose a dollar, someone made a dollar. And every time you make a dollar, someone lost a dollar. That's how the market works. So right now, there's some people, some traders who have been short, maybe from $68,000 in Bitcoin, and they're making money hand over fist. They've been shorting it all the way down. Well, most people have been buying all the way up. Well, again, it's two-sided. The 10% taken from roughly the 90%. So let's just go back to the start. And I'm just using this for educational purpose. You know, don't worry about if it's exactly right or not. But, you know, when Bitcoin came out, if you go back to the beginning, there was a lot of uncertainty, right? I mean, a lot of uncertainty. Well, that's where you're at right here. No one wants to get in. There's a lot of uncertainty. Well, as people got a little bit more knowledge and Bitcoin started to rally, well, there's a little bit more optimism and people a little bit more open to taking a look at it. Well, then, as Bitcoin started to rally, let's just say like in 2017, that got a lot of attention and there was a lot more enthusiasm. So people started buying Bitcoin. Well, as Bitcoin rallied last year to just under 69,000, let's say that was right here, people were euphoric. I mean, they were like, hey, this thing is going to go to $100,000 before the end of the year. So when Bitcoin dropped back from, 68,000 down to say 58,000, people had overconfidence and they started loading the boat, right? Well, then once it say got down below 55 and started getting to 50, that started creating a lot of anxiety. When it got to 40, a whole lot of anxiety. People probably started selling at a loss pretty heavily. Well, then once it got to 40 and under 40, that was when the denial set in. People started going, man, there's no way. How did I go from, buying at 68,000, thinking it's going to 100 or 125,000, and now I'm down, 60%, right? Well, here's where we're probably at now. People are starting to panic. They're starting to realize, whoa, my account is really, really low. And the next step that we're looking at will be capitulation. Now, it doesn't have to happen right now. It's liable to turn around this week and start a bull run. I don't know. This is general rules, but the herd mentality, the way people are thinking, only the seasoned investors are excited about where we're at, and they're the ones that are buying. Now, do you see the difference? The seasoned investor, if he didn't get in probably in here, he's going to stay out of it. I'm not talking about day traders and all that, but as far as long-term investments, when Bitcoin started getting up probably over 50,000 on its way up last year, the seasoned investors didn't keep buying. Now they may have held, but wherever their profit thoughts were, they sold. But like for me, when I first started trading, Bitcoin was just way too high. I didn't even look at it every day because I only looked at it to see what it was doing, so I could look at some lower end coins and see if I thought they were going to rally, because I didn't want to chase something that's just pumped and pumped and pumped, right? So now, see what I want to do, which is, we're here. I'm stepping into the market, which I've been buying all the way down. I've made my first Bitcoin purchase at like 37 something. And I feel anyone buying under 40,000 was going to be, look like a genius in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So anyway, guys, this is kind of where we're at. I think on Wednesday, we've got the CPI numbers, basically the inflation numbers coming out. Now, depending on what happens, I truly believe we've got a big, big day coming. This is a big week, guys, because in my opinion, we're oversold. We're due for a really aggressive pullback, rally. Now, it doesn't have to be a long rally, but we've fallen too far, too fast. And on Wednesday, I find it hard to believe that it's going to be a neutral day, that not a whole lot of stuff's going to happen. Because when the inflation numbers come out, if they're higher than they were last month, we are probably going to have capitulation. You're going to see the stock market drop really hard. Bitcoin, everything across the board is going to fall apart if inflation looks like it's getting worse. But now the good news is, if we show that inflation is actually on the way down, just that little bit of positive news, because quite frankly, guys, at how high everything is, pulling back another, quarter point is nothing. We're still paying, way too much for products and commodities, and everything has rallied so hard. We need a huge pullback to make a difference. But the market doesn't need that to rally. And the Fed doesn't need it to stop raising rates, and it doesn't need it to do any of that before it cuts on the printing press again. So all we need is a reason. That's what the government wants. The government wants to be able to justify it in the eyes of the voters. That's all they care about. Trust me when I tell you, that's all they care about, is justifying printing more money, and they want to lower rates. They really do, because the economy will fly. You can see what it has done since COVID. Anyway, so on Wednesday, if we get, let's just say the inflation hits below, I forget what it was last month, 8.7 or whatever it was. If it's 8.1, that little bit of news could be positive enough for us to bounce right here pretty hard. But if it happened to drop like a point and a half, maybe hit like 7.5, or good Lord, 6.5, which honestly would be a lie, but that would literally send the stock market reeling, and Bitcoin would follow. So guys, that's kind of where we are. I really think that we're going to have a lot more direction. If you look at the technicals and listen to any of these technical guys, uh, they're telling you we're going much lower. But the reason I don't care about what technicals say uh, in the big picture is it doesn't matter that those technical charts tell you that we're going lower. Yes, if there's no news, the charts probably are right. We're just going to keep going down the sideways, because there's nothing to pump these markets. No one's jumping in a big way. But here's why you always have to look at fundamentals first. I'll debate this forever. No one can prove me wrong or change my mind. I've been trading over 30 years. I've been in a room with over 500 traders at a time. And most people understand technicals do not matter if they don't match up with the fundamentals. And the fundamentals in the big picture is Bitcoin is the biggest bull market we've ever seen. It's cutting edge technology. All of blockchain is. So therefore, the big picture is a bull market. The smaller picture is, yes, it's very volatile and it's going down. I'm not going to call it a bear market because it's not a bear market. But even though those technicals are telling you that it's going lower, one tweet, one comment from the Fed on Wednesday can send this thing up 20%, and Bitcoin can start heading toward its all-time highs again. I don't think that will happen. I think even no matter how good that news is on Wednesday, if we're lucky enough, it will send Bitcoin higher for 2 or 3 days, maybe get us back above 40 and start trading back in between 40 and like 48,000 again. And quite frankly, I think that's what's going to happen. But honestly, probably the best thing that could happen on Wednesday is the news is even worse. That way, we'll just go ahead and get capitulation. The bottom will fall out, and same with the stock market. Now, unfortunately, that capitulation could send us into a recession that is absolutely brutal and makes '08 look like the good old days. I'm talking about, guys, and I don't want to be negative because I'm not that way, but we need to understand that we haven't paid as a country whatsoever for absolutely screwing up our economy when we shut down. And we're going to pay for that shutdown, guys. Trust me when I tell you. Now, this is not financial advice, but I've been around a long time, and we are going to pay for the damage we've created by flat out being stupid, in my opinion. We shut down our entire country. People couldn't go to work, and then we cut on the printing press. Well, life doesn't work that way. If it was that easy, why don't we all just quit our jobs, put ourselves on government salaries, and just keep printing? Because you can't, guys. When you actually put on when you print $1, you actually lowered the value of fiat money. And we have just been lowering that money. It's like buying stuff on your credit card, and now you're spending as much on your credit card. You're spending more on your credit card than you actually make, plus you're spending your salary. That's what our government's been doing for the last, good God, really since '08. And for the ones that don't know, guys, that's exactly why Bitcoin was created. Now, that being said, guys, I didn't mean to get on a rant, but look, Wednesday's a big day. Big day. I think it's going to go hard one way or the other. If it capitulates, guys, you will see me and every single successful trader or investor out there that is already in crypto. They will absolutely be loading the boat, and so will the people in the stock market. And if we have that huge capitulation, let me just give you a scenario. And bear with me, guys, because this is important. If, let's just say, inflation comes out at, say, 9%, on Wednesday, the stock market might literally capitulate and go just crashing down crazy hard. Well, just like in 2008, just like with COVID, the government goes straight to the printing press. And all the people that have conviction and understand this chart, that would put us down in here, guys. Load the boat, load the boat. And unfortunately, if you go back and study any historical chart, guys, normally you don't have time to buy the bottom and get the very best prices when you have capitulation, because it happens so hard, so fast, and everyone is, they just freeze like deer in the headlights. But the people that have been around and that are prepared, and they believe what I'm talking about right now, and again, not financial advice, they're ready. They already got their orders in place to get triggered, or they're watching it really, really close. So here's my suggestion. Pick out the cryptos that you feel very comfortable holding for, say, the next 2 years. If we go into a hard recession, is Sandbox coming back? I don't know. I'm not putting any money into it. Is Ethereum coming back? Yes, it's not going anywhere. The adoption's just going to keep growing. Is Solana coming back? I think it is, but I don't have, it's still in beta. If we go 2 years where there's not a lot of money in the market and a lot of people want to go to the safe havens, would Solana make it? I think it would, but I don't know if I'd be loading the boat right now. I am buying all the way down, and I just did a video, if you check in the playlist, about Solana, because I truly don't believe that we're in a recession yet, and I could be wrong. I think we've started one, but I think they're going to pump this market before this year's out. And right when we get comfortable that everything's getting started, boom, we get hit with the reality and we go pay for our COVID mistakes. Anyway, so I have conviction no matter what in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if we go into a recession, I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I don't care how low either one of them go. Honestly, the better for us, the lower it goes. And you just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And whenever this market turns up, I truly believe, if you look at my 10-year Bitcoin thesis in my playlist, in my opinion, no matter what happens between now and the next 10 years, Bitcoin's going to $500,000. And that's lowball, in my opinion. And Ethereum will probably go somewhere like at 50,000, and that's lowball, in my opinion. But the reason I feel comfortable just stacking and stacking and stacking is that I know that that adoption is going to grow and grow and grow every day. And eventually, when we come out of the recession, whenever that is, that adoption price is going to connect together, and you will see Bitcoin at, I don't know, if it's 2-3 years from now, you'll see Bitcoin at, $150,000, $200,000 or higher, and you'll see Ethereum at 25,000 or whatever it's going to be. I truly believe that. But you're also going to see a lot of the metaverse disappear, in my opinion. I don't know which one's going to make it. I know Sandbox is strong, but it's going to get tested. The NFTs, the average NFT is going to be gone, guys. They're not going to have any value. Might be, worth picking some up that have utilities. The NFTs that you actually get something outside of just a JPEG and a photo. But the majority of NFTs will be gone. A lot of the metaverse part will be gone. But keep this in mind, guys. And I say this over and over if you've been watching my videos. In 2000, when we had one of the biggest crashes in history with the dot-com bubble, it reminds me so much of crypto, because there was Silicon Valley hit Wall Street, the NASDAQ was on fire every single day, IPOs were coming out, they would hit the stock exchange in the morning at $11. Before the afternoon was over, it was already up to like $45, if not $100. And all it had to do is say technology or .com behind it, and people were buying and buying and buying. And when the crash came, guys, we came out with Amazon and Apple and Facebook. All these new technology came out of the .com crash, but for every one of them, there's probably 1,000 that didn't make it. Same thing is going to happen in crypto. And this is not to be negative, but guys, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of coins that we don't need. How many layer ones do you really think we need? How many layer twos? What's going to happen to the layer twos once the layer ones don't need them anymore? Now, that's a long time off, but just to tell you, the point, how many places do you need to buy NFTs, right? How many metaverses are going to make it? I don't know. Maybe there's one. Maybe there's 15 that all link together. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I know every one of them aren't just going to stick around. I have no idea. Are the Bored Apes going to be worth $2 million in 5 years? Are they going to be worth $2,000? I don't know. Now, it's backed by a lot of money, and there's some big names, and they have a great roadmap and all that, but who knows? But here's what I do know, and then I'm going to stop ranting, is that Bitcoin, no matter what, I have 100% conviction if Bitcoin went to $10, I would be selling every single thing I own, my socks and shoes. I'd be walking around. I wouldn't even have a car because I had to go borrow against it or sell them to buy more Bitcoin, because I have 100% conviction in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if you don't have that conviction, guys, you don't understand this chart, and you're going to buy once Bitcoin takes out its old high, just like the average investor that loses the majority of their money, because no one buys that has a seasoned investor unless they're day trading or something. You don't buy, say, after that right there. You don't. You buy all the way down, guys. You buy on the down days. Now, one thing I'm going to leave with you, I have a CAM trading system in the playlist. Check it out, guys. It gives you all the tools that goes right in line with this chart. And it's called CAM, and that stands for Counterintuitive Adaptive Momentum Bitcoin Trading. So if you look at it, guys, it gives you like 10 rules of what to do. We do not FOMO in. We either hold or sell during FOMO. We buy the FUD. The Fear and Greed Index, guys, right now is at 11. It's never been below 9. And I think even at in COVID, when COVID first hit, it only went to 10. So guys, the average person is freaking out. They're out of this market. The smart money, guys, the seasoned investors are locking and loading. They're starting to put their foot in the water. They're starting to buy, and they're going to cut. They're going to load the boat when it capitulates. Anyway, guys, I didn't mean to turn this into that long of a video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and hit that like button, share it with people, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Take care, guys.